Hello, this is Mary from Riversbend Sanctuary, and today we are on week 9, which is the Major Arcana card number 8, which is the Strength card. And this is one of my favorite cards, actually, because my main power animal is a lion, and the strength and inner confidence that I have been able to achieve from that relationship is really beautiful. So when you're looking at the Strength card in the tarot. Now, I do not have the Rider-Waite one here, but so many of these are very similar. This from Shadowscapes is probably the most similar to what that Rider-Waite one is. Now, if you notice, see if I can get this to focus, it's always a woman that I've noticed. I'm sure actually there are other men too in some different tarot decks, but for every deck I have, it is, if there's a person, it's a woman. And there's a lion. Now with this, come on, there we go. See how she is very comfortable with this lion, but yet in control of the lion. And that is huge, because what this card is about being in control and disciplined, even in the most difficult or adverse times. Usually when you do pull this card, you do have things that are going on in your life that can be difficult to traverse. So when you look at these cards, it's passion too. The lion is all about passion. Here's another one from the Crystal Visions. And, as you notice, there's also the eagles flying overhead, which is, to me, I always think, okay, looking at the big picture, but also looking at the details as well. So, and being able to look at things from different perspectives. So when you look at this, she again has a very good relationship with this lion, but is in control of this very courageous, passionate beast, right? So this is a very fiery card, very fiery. It's courage, bravery, compassion, self-confidence, inner power. It's this gracefulness, though, this graceful power, graceful in control over situations, over yourself. And here's another card. This one is from the Ethereal Visions deck. Kind of pretty well. It has that gold, whatever you call it, on it. But it's, again, it's you're calm and in control. You may be having some very distressful situations that are coming up now or will be. So when you pull this card upright, it is saying that most likely either you're in the midst of or soon will be in the midst of some adversity, something that is difficult, a difficult situation in your life. It doesn't, and this varies. It doesn't have to be like huge, like you're losing your house or something, it doesn't, financial downfall. It doesn't have to be that. It can be arguments with friends, family. It can be something going on at work, all kinds of things. But it's really showcasing that, you pull this upright, that you do have that. You have this control. You have this compassion, and really go within yourself to make sure that you are using this appropriately. Because just like the relationship with this woman and lion that you notice is, she is in control, but it's a balancing act. So when you have that much compassion, when you have that much courage, you have to make sure you're in control not to abuse that, right? The patience, make sure your patience is huge, your resilience, know that you can, as long as you put your mind to it, you can succeed. And that's what this card is telling you. This one is from the Light Seers deck, and I like this too. Of course you've got the lamb in, so, but how she is in control of herself, right? So the lion, instead of her being in control of the lion, this is more showcasing that she is the lion, but she is in control, therefore can have the lamb, right? So this is a big, I like this card. The description, the picture here, I think is more beneficial to understand how to really relate to this card than the normal ones. This is Paulina Cassidy. She's got a couple of very unique decks. This is a Jodi Vivra. Probably not pronouncing that correctly, but this is an interesting card. And again, it showcases a woman who's in control of this lion. They are very, you can notice they are respecting each other, yet she has the upper hand. So when you're looking at the Strength card, if you pull this just for normal, upright, as we've talked before, this is really showcasing that you have this ability to utilize your courage and bravery and compassion, your self-confidence and inner power. You have the ability to use those and be in control and disciplined in whatever the situation is that's coming up or is there. If you pull this card in a love reading, then, that means you are in, you're in control. You also, you're confident in being able to find a partner if you haven't found one. You're strong and you have a very caring relationship. Now, again, when it comes to love readings with the Strength card, this is still a balancing act. These relationships can be very passionate, but you need to make sure you keep them in control, because if that balance becomes unbalanced, it can be a little too much fiery passion, a little, this is where you get the people who who fight if they don't have that control. And I'm not necessarily saying you're physically fighting, but the passion's so high, the intensity is so high that you just need to make sure to keep that balanced. But if you're looking for love, this is a card to say, yes, you're doing well. You are, confident in seeking out and trying to find that right person for you. As far as finances, if you pull this card for finances, then that means that you are probably going to have large purchases in the future. You are good at controlling your spending, that kind of thing. So this is really saying if you're thinking about like a big purchase or something, purchasing a house or a car or something like that, then this card is saying, yes, you're doing well. This is going to most likely happen. Just make sure you control it, right? Again, that balancing act, make sure you don't go over and spend more than what you have. But usually this card, when it showcases, is saying you are doing just fine and you are in control. For career, same thing. It really means that, you're doing very well. You're in control. You're confident. You actually are, you've got the self-mastery happening at work. You're ready to move on and take big steps. You're being bold with your career moves. So that part is beautiful. Again, I think I already mentioned the lion, the symbolism with the lion, and this is probably, I like this card too, is courage, passion, desire, and strength, of course. And so that part is beautiful. Now, pulling it reverse, what do you do if you pull it reversed? Well, a reversed strength card can mean a few different things. And, so, you pull this reversed and you're like, shit, what are you going to do? And it really says that, again, you are or will be experiencing, an intense anger or fear in your life. You've forgotten about your passions. You're not in control. These are things that you're kind of lost in your ways. It can also indicate depression because you have lost that inner, inner self-confidence, that inner passion. You're kind of lost. Things are very chaotic. So, that is a sign that, okay, well, I need to get things back in control. And that's one thing I like about the tarot. Even the cards that say, okay, you're going to have some difficult times. You might be depressed. You're having self-confidence issues. It's really just a key to point out, okay, it's time to work on yourself. How can you? And, this is really about balancing. So go in and balance what's going on. Figure out why your self-confidence is lacking, that kind of thing. For love, there's self-esteem issues if you pull it reversed. That things aren't working. It's not a balanced relationship. There's some insecurities. Maybe you have a negative feeling about love because of past relationships. And that again is either it's not going to work out or something that you need to work on your internal strength and confidence. For career, if you pull this reversed, you could be doing the imposter syndrome, It could mean that you're faking it. You don't know what you're doing. You're insecure. You have a fear of making big moves, so you're stuck, kind of thing. And for finances, of course, that it's compulsive spending. If you pull this reversed for a financial, asking about money, then definitely it's okay. You need to watch out. Either you are being very compulsory and overspending, or it could be that you're being way too restrictive, and that you need to look a little bit on. Okay, so maybe you need to spend a little more on something. So this is where, you know, you've got the yin and yang kind of thing. It's such a balance here, especially for when you pull it reverse for finances, because it could be one extreme or the other extreme. But you know, the person should know that when it's pulled, whether it's yourself or you're reading for somebody else. So the Strength card, again, is, you know, and it can mean so many different things. So for me, when I pull this Strength card, because I have that relationship with my power animal, I know that first I need to look and see if there's a message. Maybe I'm disconnected and there's a message coming through for me from him. And so I look at that first. So, and that's one thing if you're reading tarot for yourself especially, is if something stands out to you that has meaning, it doesn't necessarily, you know, look at that first, because it doesn't necessarily mean, okay, go by the book of what this card means. It could mean, okay, I'm sending you a message, you know what this means. So that's a big part too of reading the tarot. So that is the Strength card. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, I think this is probably one of my favorite cards here for the visual description of this card. And you know, that feeling that you get when you have that self-confidence and you're standing tall is pretty amazing. You know, you can also pull this card and use it, you know, showcase it on your desk for the day if you're feeling a little bit low self-esteem, you're not as secure with yourself. Really call in. You can call into the energy of the lion too. Ask, you know, for some assistance with the inner strength, with confidence, you know, with knowing when to increase your fieriness and when to tamper it. So there's all kinds of beautiful things you can do. Wonderful. Thank you. I really enjoyed this one, and we will see you next week.